Here's a quick review on the GrowlTap device. It was actually part of a Kickstarter campaign a few years back, and since then it's been available to market. And it's pretty inexpensive. It's about $45 on their website currently at the time of making this video. And I have made a couple modifications, as you can see. It's meant to dispense beer, by the way, for those that don't know. I have actually added a T-fitting with the proper connectors. It's basically an eighth flare from an eighth to quarter, and then I have another quarter back to an eighth male to male into the cap. The main reason that I'm adding the pressure gauge is so I can force carbonate some small experimental homebrew batches of beer. And I know what people will say is that these things cannot hold enough pressure. I've actually force carbonated the brew that's inside here now. I've had it up to 30 psi, which is probably about the highest I would ever want to go by holding the release valve shut. And again, these things, yeah, you really cannot put that much pressure in there because it is glass. It is thicker than most glass jars than you would, or growlers that you would normally see. You don't want to get the clear growlers. They have a much thinner glass that will most certainly explode even with the slightest amount of pressure. Bottom line, would I recommend this? Yes, I would certainly recommend this for dispensing of beer. It is actually a very nice, handy little tool to have. And if you don't want to finish the growler on one sitting, which, you know, it's convenient if you don't want to, this can push CO2 and evacuate the oxygen out and keep the carbonation in your beer. You can even force carbonate with this, and that's what I was able to do by adding this, by holding the valve. The only thing I will say that is pretty much junk is and it's also a very poor design, by the way. If you're watching GrowlTap, this would be some constructive criticism. If you look here, these two holes there's nothing that you can do to service this. The pin valve inside, when you push it to inject the CO2 from the cartridge, there's a seat and a needle. It's a needle valve. It doesn't seat well after maybe one or two cartridges, and maybe I got to bum one, but it is not a very good design if you cannot service the seals inside, because it's bound to happen. It's a wearable item, and if I can't service it, well, that's not really much of a help for my purposes. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe. Any questions, please answer in the comments down below, and cheers, man.